This video is in conversation with all of the videos that have been on my page, which is very much like, I'm 40, I'm 35, I followed my dream, and now I'm depressed. I regret it. I regret doing art. I fucked up. Don't do art, don't do. As someone that is in the pits of hell, I can't watch or contribute to the I went to art school and I regret all my decisions. This is in defense of following your artistic dream. I'm not trying to contradict the people that are saying like I regret everything, because like I get it. It's fucked up in all different scenarios. It's all fucked up. And and there's no shade to these people. I think it's great, but like I can't do it. Anyway, hi, I'm Vanessa. I am a TV writer and a novelist. I've written for shows like How to Get Away with Murder. I've written for The Sandman. I've written for Fate the Wing Saga. I've developed anime with Crunchyroll. And right now I'm on my, not mission, because who fucking cares? I'm on my journey of writing a novel in 2 years with this program I'm in. Anyway, so I wanted to do a video that was like in conversation with these videos, the other videos, because like that's very valid, and this video is not to contradict that experience. It's just a different perspective, maybe, as someone that is 32 and looking at my art career like, bitch, where y'all at? I just feel like we can't afford to lose artists. We can't afford to lose people who are doing art for pay, but we definitely can't afford to lose artists who are looking at these things and are like, fuck, like let me just not do this shit. Let me put my damn pen down. Let me put my easel down, or whatever the fuck you're doing. We just can't afford to lose you guys. Us, even the ones that are in the pits and that are like, I fucked up, I shouldn't have did this, I regret this. We still can't afford to lose any of us, any artist. I just thought that I would sit and talk about my current experience, where I'm at right now as the 32-year-old artist who is struggling. Because yes, I work in the industry, but like, you can look at all the top industry people right now. Everybody is just trying to hustle. Everybody's Ubering. Everybody, like it's not great as far as like people used to make a living off of this shit, and now there's not. And now I'm someone whose degree is in this, and so I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck else can I do? What am I doing? Should I finish? Should I keep writing? The answer is yes, and this is how I'm looking at it. This is my thesis. To survive art as a career, before, during, and after, it is like always making sure you understand your goals. I thought about goals in terms of like material, like this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to get, this is my goal, is to have a show. But that's not the goal that will keep you afloat when you are sinking in the bottom of the fucking ocean. For speaking for myself, I conflated having like the material career goal with like the goal as an artist. And so then when things fucking crash and burn, you're looking around and you're like, I regret it all. And it's probably because you weren't grounded in your goal. And I feel like I am regrounding myself in my goals as we speak. So by a goal, I mean like, I want to make art that accomplishes this thing. I want to make art for this specific person. I want to make this specific art for this specific reason. I want to reach this specific audience for the love of the game. I want to get paid for my art. I want to live solely off of the things that I produce. Those are two different things. You might sit down and be like, oh, I actually don't give a fuck if I get paid off of the things that I want to make. What I actually care about is making sure that the women who are 50 plus have a romance book that is inclusive of body, of disability. Like that could be what your goal actually is a lot of our favorite authors, especially, we're not making money. So if you're coming into this like, oh, I want to be an artist and I want to make sure I make money off of my art, but I also want to be like James and Maya Angelou, you might not make any. Those two things don't always exist at in one present. What you think as someone that gets into art is, if I make amazing art, I'm gonna be like my favorite artists, and I'm gonna be able to live off of my name, and I'm gonna be able to live off of my art, when in fact those people weren't actually living off of their art. They had a lot of different ways to survive, but it wasn't like this. It wasn't like fucking Harry Potter, where that is living off of your art. And I don't think that J.K. Rowling was coming into it like, I can't wait to make the most groundbreaking art possible. I think the motherfucker just wanted to just make some shit. I need to make some shit and make some money, but like, also fuck her. I'm not gonna dive into it. I always talk about this artist. His name is Moses Sumney. Their name is Moses Sumney. I'm not sure about the pronouns, but they had an article. I read an article about how they had gotten to LA. They got signed by an agency or managers, and they came to LA and, you know, was about to like do the deal, and they stopped and they were like, I'm not ready for this, actually, because I don't know who I am as an artist quite yet. I don't know my sound. Like, for me, I don't know what I'm trying to do yet. I can't jump into this too fast or I'll lose myself in the machine, in the industry. And you know what? They were so right. And that's like an example of, let me figure out my goals as an artist first before I jump. Having your goal and understanding how to ride a fucking wave is how we survive as artists. And let me say this, I'm not sitting here being like, and this is the way it should be. We are understanding that we are under the heavy boot of capitalism and white supremacy, and neither of these things are conducive to a healthy ecosystem of artists. And at the same time, I'll say, having the idea that you can do art full time is a very privileged take, and is a very new idea as far as like making a living in the system that we have. Very few people are making a living off of the system that we have. That's not to say that you can't do it, but what it is to say is, if people are crashing and burning, it makes sense because the system is designed for us to crash and burn, and we just have to understand that, and we have to understand our goals. And once you understand your goal, then we can figure out how we pivot. So right now, the most important thing we can do is be hyper honest with ourselves and hyper specific. You need to understand the major goal. And for the purposes of this video, I'm gonna make it super unnuanced and super basic as a place to start. Like, this is where I'm looking at things right now as someone who, door closed, door closed, door closed. The doors are closed. What's your goal? Two branches for this purpose. Number one, is your goal to make money? Is your goal to make art? Let's not be nuanced for a second, because you can add all the nuances and you can add all the gray areas that you want after we look at this basic thing. Because having worked in Hollywood, this is the path. This is how I'm now structuring things in my head. Better question is, do you want to sell out? No, I'm just playing. Is your goal as an artist to make money, or is your goal to make art? And when I say make art, I mean make the art that you want to make. And you have to sit and think about, what is it that I truly, not what my mom says, not what I'm in film school and everyone is like, oh, like, we need to be auteurs and you need to be writing by candlelight, and if it's not my way, it's not pure art. Like, for me, no one else around me, I'm in a dark room, no judgment. What is it that I want? I want to do art as a moneymaker. I want to just make the art that I want to make. We'll talk about like the gaps in between, but like, in your heart of hearts, what is it? No motherfucker talking in your ear. Which one would you want to start with? Or which one are you at right now? You could be someone that's like, I came into this doing what the fuck I wanted to do, but now I'm starving and now I need a job. And now my art needs to make money. Very fair. Don't judge yourself. You might be like, I've been making this art that is to make a living, and it's either not working or it's working and I hate it. And life is short. I'm looking around me. I haven't done the thing that I wanted to do. I'm miserable. I'm depressed. I'm jaded. I want to do. Both of these things are pros and cons, and nothing is wrong with either one. So right now, I can't tell you, but in your heart of hearts, where are you at? So I have like a whole little diagram that I'll try to show, but it's hot and I don't have time for it. So let's start on the making money side. I got fucking student loans that I can't fucking pay off. I chose this career, but I gotta pay off my loans. Like, I've been doing the like starving artist thing for a while, and like, man, we need to make some money. Or if you're like me and you're like, here's where I'm at. It's like, I have been pitching and I just do what the fuck I want to do. And I'm like, you're gonna get this monster fucking script. You're gonna get this headless horseman having sex. Like, you're gonna, that shit might have worked 10 years ago. That shit's not working right now. So I'm in the space where I'm like, okay, so for my primary career, what is the most important to me? And right now, child, I'm like, we need to make a sale. Because even if I want to do the art that I want to do, I need to make money to do it, to produce my novel, to produce my not my movies that I want to do. I need to make money. So anyways, let's talk about the making money path. Okay. So the benefits of the making money path is that there's a more visible path to making money. And usually that revolves around looking at what, and this goes to any medium, looking at what the industry thinks it wants. And that's not to say making carbon copies of things, but just looking at like, okay, this is where I think this is like a bit of an easier sell. If you are like looking into like getting into a room, like, okay, well, here's the exact path. This is kind of what I have to do. This is what I have to say. This is kind of what I have to write. You're looking at it more from a, not you can't be original, but like, well, this is where the industry is at right now. Like I said, 10 years ago, I could kind of just do whatever the fuck I wanted to do. And it was like, oh, right now, it's a little bit different. So now I know that I have to I can't have decapitations every 10 pages. And it's an unfortunate thing, but that's just the truth of the matter right now. I can't be so gruesome. And I can't be, listen, I'm a child of Saw. I'm a child of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And so when I was writing my TV pilots, I was like, we need entrails falling out. We need heads rolling out. We need bloodbaths. I know that to sell a pilot right now, I can't do all that. And so that's like on the making money path. You're like, okay, I can do me, but here are the stipulations of the industry right now. It's leaning extremely conservative. So what does that mean for the work that I want to do? Here's the problem. The time that it takes you to make money could be fast, could be slow. And during that time, you risk doing things that are on the more unfulfilling side. If you are someone that has a really, really, like you have a really, really, really hard time and you just want to do whatever the fuck you want to do. If you're someone that's like, I enjoy working in the parameters and I enjoy kind of like seeing what I can do to make things fit square peg, round hole, then that might not feel as unfulfilling to you. But the risk of the making money path is you don't know if it's going to go fast, you don't know if it's going to go slow, and you might risk creative unfulfillment because you may have to compromise on things. The benefit of looking at it from the I want to make money side is that you have a bit more of a pathway. Things might, in a perfect world, go a little bit faster for you because you can kind of see A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But in the current climate, we don't know what's going to hit. So right now, a lot of people who want to make money are like, this is TV. Oh, right now it's all about IP. So let me find me a book. And add and adapt it. And that's what a lot of people are doing. And they can be as creatively fulfilled as they want with that if it's a book that they really, really love and they can like see themselves in it. Or on the flip side, they're like, we just need to make a quick check, and they just find shit and they're just like, here, I can pitch this, I can do this. So the range of fulfilled and unfulfilled is wide in the making money path. And it just depends on what you like, how you want to go about it. But the sweet spot, and this is where I lived at for a while, the sweet spot of the making money path is if you are someone that does have a really strong voice, and you meet the right person and you have just a luck and privilege, you might hit that creative fulfillment, when you make something that is like so totally you and you make money off of it, that's the making money spot that everybody fucking wants. That's a possibility on the making money path. You just have to understand that comes with luck, and that comes with privilege that you either are given since birth or that you have to make sure you get yourself. By the privilege, I mean you have to put yourself into situations where it's like institutions. You have to make sure that people know you. You have to put yourself out there. Like, you have to do the things that will put you in proximity to the people that can be like, oh, brilliant. You know what I mean? So for me, for example, I got a really big management company that was interested in me because I paid for PR for myself, because I knew that that's like how you do it. And so they saw my work and they were like, this was great. We can get you money. So you don't just get the creative fulfillment plus the money coming to you. There is so much that goes into that. And that is a path. So it's all about money, money, money. You spend money to make the money. You go to the film schools, maybe you put yourself into proximity. You go to film school not because you like, oh, I want to be an auteur, not just because of that, but because you know the people that are in the film school can get you paid later on. That's what you're doing there. So that's the money making side. Then there's like the making art side. There's the making art side where you're just like, listen, I just want to be an artist who has an audience and who does and I find my audience for me and they support me, and I don't have to be rich, but I just want I want people to see, and I want to make art for my audience. Here's what's on this side. Benefits of it: you make your shit, you make it at your own pace. I think right now that's really important. On the money making side, you might be limited to like, if your art gets made, it might be limited to like, well, you're getting paid to do it. We need you to change this, do this, do this, do this. Then we'll get you a check. If you're on I'm doing it for myself, you are in control. You have the reins. You can go as fast. You can go as slow. You can make as many changes as you want. Process is all yours. And depending on what kind of art you make and why, that could be really important for you to own that. It might take you 10 years to write the magnum opus. It could take you a week. That is the gold standard, and you might find an audience who loves what you're doing for you. Amazing. Now here's the problem with that. Problem with that is you need to come to terms with no money. No money forever, no money for a little bit, no money for a long time. You're not gonna know. Even if you're like, well, I do want to make a living off of it. I just care that it's mine and it's my art and I make it for me and it has to be mine. And like, I need to Still, if money is a part of that journey for you, you have to accept that it may never come, or it might take forever, or it might not come at all. Accept that. Also accept that you might struggle to make the things that you want to make because things are very expensive. You have to go out of your way, similar to the money making side, but you might have to go out of your way to make sure that you're in spaces that can support your art. So it's like putting yourself into institutions for a different reason. You might not be in institutions to like meet the guy that's going to get you the job and the check. You might find yourself in institutions of people who can put you in terms with grants or give you letters of recommendations or residencies, giving you information on these things. That's the kind of space that you're going to have to you might have to find yourself in. It's also like you have to be okay with alternative methods. If money is not coming in right away, forever or for maybe, if your grants can take forever to come, funding can take forever to come, you might have to be okay on this side of the spectrum with you need to have a different form of income. You have to have another job. You got to be a teacher. You could whatever it is that you can find a career in to support yourself. This side of things means you have to be okay with, oh shit, like I gotta have a career. So those are kind of the two sides. That was my unnuanced look at it. But you see how it's important to see the two sides because it kind of prepares you to think about how things are. You can also cross back and forth. So a lot of us who are, I'm 35 and I regret my life, let's not do that. Let's just look at like what side were we at and do we need to cross over. But it takes a lot of courage to say, hey, I was doing art for myself, but I think I need to make money. Even more courage to say, hey, I was making money, I'm not making any money, and I'm making money and things have slowed down or whatever, but it's really important for me to do this art for myself. That takes a lot of courage. So if you're in these two separate categories and you're like, it's not working for me, perhaps there needs to be a switch. But before we do the switch, we look at the criteria of each side, and if we have been honest with ourselves about what it takes to make it on each side. So for example, I want to make art for myself, like, but I'm really not making any money, and I've been out here and I've been hustling and I've been like trying to do the thing, but like my art's not paying for myself, I can't live. Maybe you do have to look at an alternative way of supporting yourself. If it's all about like, I want to do what the fuck I want to do and you might have to get a regular job, like, and that's okay. But it's just, you can't always have your cake and eat it too. So you want to do what the fuck you want to do in capitalism, you're gonna have to support yourself, because that's just not how status quo works all the time, unfortunately. Or you're like, I've been trying to do this thing, but my art's not going anywhere. It's probably because you need an institution behind you. And no matter what, like if you look at some of the most famous artists who did make art, like the art that they wanted for themselves, they had institutions behind them. They went to school, they had foundations, they had mentors. Looking at yourself as an artist that wants to make money, or looking at yourself as an artist who wants to be the artist, and I want to do what the fuck I want to do, you are going to need some kind of backing behind you. Have you looked into that? Have you considered that? Is that something that you're prepared to do? Are you willing to maybe go to school or to writers groups? Like, are you fulfilling that part of, this is what comes with, I just want to make art and I want to be an artist for myself? And on the flip side, if you're someone that's like, I just want to make money, have you put yourself into spaces where that kind of like privilege and luck comes into play? The stuff that you're making, are you just making it for yourself, or are you making art that can sell? Like, and again, yes, there is that lucky thing of like, you made it completely for yourself and it sold. But if that's not happening, let's look at your art and say like, oh, are you making it for yourself, or are you making it for an audience? So for example, right now I'm writing a feature, and every time I'm making this feature, I'm just like, oh, that's stupid. But that's there's an expectation to the audience that I'm trying to write to, and I'm not writing this to amuse Vanessa. I'm writing this to an audience that I want to sell to. And so I do have to honor that audience and like what they want. That's the difference between writing for myself and doing my decapitations and being like, okay, well, maybe the audience, maybe the company that serves this audience, they know that the audience doesn't want 12 beheadings per second. If you're trying to make money, is the art you're making totally for you? Who are you writing it for? And can you take your ego out of it a little bit and give the girls what they want to be given? It's like Lady Gaga, when she made Art Pop, y'all were salty about that because she wasn't giving what the girls think that they wanted. They wanted another fame monster. I think the Art Pop album is a really great example of showing the two different sides of things. She did Art Pop for herself. I don't know if she knew that it wasn't going to do as well, but she was fine because it was like for her and for the people that got it. Sure, when she writes now, she understands the difference between writing a pop hit and a pop hit for you. So if you're trying to make money, you got to be able to make a pop hit. You can do it in your Lady Gaga, Beyonce, Rihanna. They all have their own swag and way of doing it, but you have to understand how to write a pop hit. Again, it's up to you in this moment to sit, reflect, figure out, am I just not doing what I need to do in these categories, or is it no longer serving me to be on this side for now? And accept where you're at and accept that you need to switch things over, and that's okay. That's fine if you need to get a job outside of creativity so you can do the things that make you creative. It's fine. It's only not fine if you're going against what feels good inside. That's when you get the like, I regret, I'm stupid, I did that, don't do art, don't do art. Always do art, but just make sure you understand where the urge to do the art is coming from and what your goal and what your expectation is with your art. That saves heartache. And I think for me, I wish I would have started with that more. I came into this being like, I can do it all. I can do it all. And as we're in late stage capitalism, perhaps not. Perhaps not. And now I kind of have to figure out what to do. And so consider also that you're a human that can do multiple different things, and you can do multiple projects that serves multiple purposes. I'm doing this feature. I'm like, okay, I want to sell with this feature. That's okay, because I have the novel that really fulfills the side of me that's like, I want to make art for making art's sake. But right now, for me personally, my goal is to make sure that I have the ability to put out art that I really care about and have an audience that I find, money or not. And I know that for now, to support that, my other side, which for me just happens to be my career, my artistic career, has to make money to support my ultimate goal of, I want to do this. I want to be this documenter of history through art. That is the most important goal for me. So I need to be able to support myself so I can do that. Yeah, that's kind of like where I think I want to end today. There are probably 20 other goals, but for today, and I think where a lot of artists are when they're like upset with themselves for choosing this career, I think this is the best place to start with these two branches. I'm curious about where you feel like you are and if it is congruent with what your goal was, if you ever thought about the goal, or if you just kind of came into it like me, like, I'm gonna do it all. I'm Beyonce. If you're new in the game, if you're in the game, if you've quit the game, don't give up. Don't be upset if who the artist that you really want to be isn't the artist that you are now. Always make sure that you look at your goal and that you have your goal in mind, that you move forward and that you respect the artist that's inside you and what that artist needs. Fuck what everybody has to say about what you should or you shouldn't do with your art. We need to keep art alive and we can't afford to give up. Anyways, it's hot as fuck. All right, I'll see you next week. Bye.